Page 170, we gathered together. A well-known hymn or a well-known tune, well-known song is a well-known something. There are no words in this arrangement, so apparently this is for instruments, not singers. 3 parts, they're labeled part 1, 2, and 3, that's handy. The first 2 parts are for some instrument that can play a note, usually a concert-keyed instrument, because you'll notice all of these parts are in the same key signature. And the piano part is a concert key, so the others got to be too. They got to be C instruments. An oboe, a violin, or something of that nature that can read this music and play it as written. Now, if you have a horn player or a saxophone player who can transpose the music at sight, they could play along too, but they got to transpose their part. We're going to pretend you're playing the piano part. And they're not telling you all the piano part. They're just giving you an idea of the style, of the rhythm, of the pattern, and then the rest of it you got to figure out what it is yourself. But first, I still want to know what the other parts sound like. So I would go through and I'd play each part one at a time. So first, the melody, the top part. I'm not saying the top part has to be melody, but in this particular arrangement, it just happens to be the top part. Played a little fast, but I just want to hear the melody. Then the second part, well, they're not giving you everything. You have a D, then they want a B minor. Well, I could do the same pattern and just come down to B. I don't know what pattern they want to use. I guess you have to work that out. But if I use the same pattern as the first full measure, I'm just going to play that chord starting on that note. Like so? I don't know. So starting at measure 5, it's 1, 2, 3, 1. They give us fingering. That's kind of silly because this isn't piano part here, I don't think. Another instrument isn't going to finger it that way. And then measure 9 is, they give an A again. I don't know if we're here or here. So you could be up here. Then come down. And then at the last line, they give you the notes. Okay. If you wanted to get an idea what the 2 parts sounded like, you'd attempt to play them together. Good luck with that. But let's go on to the piano part. Here, they give you the pattern. On a D, just play the block chords first. We have a D. We have a B minor 7th. It's a B minor with a 7th. We're talking minor 7th chord. An E minor chord. They went down here. And then an A7 chord with a C sharp on the bottom, which is here, which is this. They're duplicating or they're doubling the C sharp. Well, you can do that. That's fine. And then D. And going on, now we want an A chord, a B minor chord, and then an E7 chord. Well, that's an E, and then an A chord. Measure 9 is an A7 with a G on the bottom, so that's this. D chord with an F sharp on the bottom. Oh, it's down here then. Excuse me. An A7 with a C sharp on the bottom here. An A7 is this. C sharp is here. And a D. Last line is a G chord with a D on the bottom here. Then an A7 chord with C sharp on the bottom. A B7 chord. Remember, we're talking a major triad. It's not a B minor. It's a B here. It's the 7 that's minor, but they want the D sharp on the bottom, so we'll go here. And then an A7 chord with C sharp on the bottom, and a D. So we sort of have an idea what the chords are. Let's see if we can figure out how to get this pattern in those chords. Rhythm isn't bad. just remember those are quarter notes on some of those in the left hand. And it looks like the left hand's playing the root of the chord. Except here was C sharp on the bottom, so it's got to be a C sharp there in the third full measure. So for the left hand, we go through here, we're just going to play the root of the chord. See the slice letter? That letter is what the left hand's playing. The right hand has the broken chords in some inversion somewhere, so we'll see where it is. Measure 5, we're on the A again, we're down here. B minor, E7, and some inversions. Just stay in this area. And stay away from these notes if you can, because the other two instruments have those. So here. Of course, if you have an instrument like a saxophone or something, they're going to sound lower than, so they're going to sound down here when they play. You may have a problem with that. You have to adjust. You'd have to maybe move your part up here somewhere. I don't know. But we're going to pretend the other instruments sound where they're written. Right there, no transposing. So we're going to be down here. So it was at the beginning, we're here on a D, and it's 1 and 2 and 1. Okay, I'm going to use that same pattern throughout the rest of it. Here, it's a C sharp on an A, B, and a 7. If it's a B7, it's here. So it's some B7, A. Measure 9 is an A7 with a G on the bottom. A7 is here. G's on the bottom. I need these notes at least. I can play that. And an F sharp on the bottom. C sharp on the bottom. Then a D on the bottom with a G chord with a D on the bottom. I can still play the full G chord in the right hand. I don't want to do it because the bottom note, the left hand's covering it. C, and then a B7 with a D sharp on it. A B7 is here, remember? B is a natural, major. B major with a minor 7th. Yeah, and you want the D on here, so just one of these notes. I can do that. So in measure 14, it's 1, 2, 3. It's here. Because I have this, I don't necessarily need it here. I could do these two here. And then for the last two measures, use measures 3 and 4. Just play the same thing they've got there. Because it's the same chords and the same rhythm, so just, yeah. And so you work out your part and be ready to change it based on what the other parts are doing. You have to listen. Does it sound okay, or maybe maybe fewer notes in your chords or whatever to make it work. You need enough notes in it to establish the harmony, but no more. Let the other parts shine. You stay in the background.